Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the SubQuery customer series. And today I am very lucky to be talking to Minchi Wang from Web3Go. Hey, welcome Minchi, welcome to the episode.
Hi, James. Thanks you for having me today.
So Web3Go is a brand new player on the ecosystem, and a lot of people might not have heard about it before, but trust me, there's a lot of potential here. Do you want to start off with telling us all about Web3Go?
Yeah, for sure. So, hi guys, I'm Minky from Web3Go. I'm CTO, and we're actually very looking forward to this meeting as this will be a very good chance for demonstrate how Web3Go and SubQuery partnership allowed us to be more quicker and efficient and provide better values to our community. So today we have a lot of ecosystem tools like Subscan, Polkadot Scan, quite a lot of querying tools and very mature of them, of course. Yeah, generally speaking, they are targeting at the technical developer, for quick query, online checking purpose. Now, for non-technical user, the tool is sufficient for checking, but the user definitely needs to spend extra effort if they want to dig in. Now, for instance, if I want to check the capital cash flow of one single address, I may have to manually redirect it and go through the relations of them. So it is obvious that the most basic technique data query for blockchain itself, except that there's a high level of the data demand. That's why Web3Go comes in, as a blockchain data analyze platform. And to be more specific, we want to lower the entry barrier of the Polkadot and give non-tech user a more straightforward means to approach. Now, this purpose drives us to aggregate the cross-chain, chain data, analyzing individual chain's business logic, and do the corresponding data research. So, based on that, we share and expose our database to everyone and aim at building a data platform which can provide a series of toolsets so everyone can easily obtain the visualize the result of the data analyzed. So what we provide is what usually the community and the projects request are very purpose-specific data analyzing demonstration. So it can either done by our team or by the community in the future. So if you view our website, we have finished several key logic analyzing our platform, Corolla and Moonbeam, and whereas the Polkadot Kusama itself, we do Corolla CDP, the collector debtor position in DeFi protocol. We do Moon River collector staking strategy simulation and the crowd loan. Yeah, so most of this dashboard or the analyzing are driven by community need. You want to check the KUSD, correct stable coins, the debit level or the safety. You want to know who is on the winning side for crowd loan and where the contributors come from. There are a lot of labeling analyzing things to do, and yes, Web3Go is handling them. So
Yeah, it's really interesting because, as you say, there is a lot of data on Polkadot and on all the parachains, and what Web3Go is doing is really providing a beautiful user interface that allows you to visualize this data a lot more clearly and find out information about it. And it's really exciting how you're building these dashboards. So you're covering a lot, right? You're doing a lot of parachains. What are some of the more interesting dashboards that you've got so far?
I think two of them that we are very proud of. The first one is crowd loan itself. Okay, so this is basically the dashboard of the crowdloan. As you can see, that all these are individual parachains that participate in the auction. If you click on one of them, you will go through the breakdown of the contribution part. Now, for this part, you can easily get the similar kind of information from the online checking event like the Polkadot.js. What really interests us is this kind of visualize the result. Like as you can see, this is the Moonbeam's contribution, and you can see actually a lot of individual contributor there. And with this kind of industry proxy, we actually label this address ourselves. You can see how many people from the Binance is supporting you, how many people from industry is supporting you, and how popular you are in the individual. And I can see if this is a parallel finance, as they providing the proxy itself, you can see majority of their supporting is actually come from their own. Stuff like that give you more interesting things to see and this to exploit. And that's actually what we That's actually what we want to do. Use something that can make people easily understand the on-chain data. So this is about the crowd loan. Actually, we finished it in 1 week, and the response is pretty good.
And that's really fascinating. And I've been doing a lot of research into crowd loans myself personally. So seeing these graphs, especially like if you go back to the Akala crowd loan, a significant amount of that came from Akala's own proxy. And so just for the audience's sake, Web3Go is essentially almost like a business intelligence tool for Polkadot data. You have the freedom to go in there and define a chart or a graph or a table of data based off certain
exactly. Actually, we are expecting a lot of these kind of things left to do. Actually, right now we are trying to analyzing the whole capital cash flow of the whole Polkadot ecosystem. We want to know how many money is in the exchange, how many is not, how many liquidity are locked in the staking. These kind of things can be variable when you make purchasing or selling decision. It generally can respond to what Polkadot, the capital inflow and outflow thing.
And you're brand new, right? Like you've only launched Web3Go in the last month, I believe.
Yes, only 2 months. Like I said, at first we only want to know what can we provide the data for the identity, but with little bit time passing by, our team find that this is a very promising field.
Yeah. And this is really cool because, I think Web3Go and SubQuery share this goal of making that data as accessible as possible. And talk to me a bit, maybe, Minchi, about how you use SubQuery in Web3Go. What part does SubQuery play in this?
Okay, in order to do Web3Go's job, there are several solutions presenting before us at first. Now, the first one is a third-party centralized API. Like we cover everything in traditional way and then aggregate the data. But we give up this quite quickly. Basically, there are two drawbacks. We cannot build anything decentralized if you want to rely on a third party. Like this disobeys the spirit of blockchain. Second thing is that the internet connection is low efficiency, time consuming when you call the API of the third party many times. So there comes the second solution for us. So build an archive node like Subscan and any other index service relied on. So Polkadot actually have a very good support. Once we have the archive node, we can build something on it. Now there comes to what SubQuery does, or what we use SubQuery for. SubQuery help us clear the path between Web3Go and archive nodes. So when I say archive nodes, it means like all parachain and relay chains archive node. This definitely saves us many cost, effort, might need. With SubQuery, you don't have to build any archive node. You don't have to build any middleware handler or post BD data. In other words, you don't have to build any well things. So it just makes us much easier to focus on our own project purpose, data analyzing things, intrinsic block, event record, what else you need. What I mean is SubQuery surely covers the majority of the stuff you want. And there's an online playground deployment service which we also use it quite a lot. Yeah, a very handy and mature promising tools.
So in a way, you use SubQuery to take this data from an archive node, whether that's on Polkadot, Kusama, or any of the parachains, and get it ready for Web3Go's user interface. And am I right in suggesting that you're also using a modified version of SubQuery, or are you using just an off-the-shelf SubQuery instance to get that done?
I think we do make some modification, but the majority of the framework is still SubQuery. We cannot kill the several small changes to make it different.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And really all this is solved for you is to save the Web3Go a huge amount of time and allow you obviously to come, you won some awards at a hackathon in China, right?
Yes, we actually win the second prize of the Wansheng Hackathon. We win the Moonbeam and Web3 Funds grant. Yeah. Actually, we actually achieved. We are very proud of that participation.
Yeah, excellent work. And when you realized that SubQuery could help you solve these problems?
Now, like I said, we first want to solve the problem. What facing us is how we get the index the data. So we find the archive node is what we need. Then we say, okay, maybe we have to build some we have to build a lot of the things, except you can get the data from, but they are not sorted or indexed. You need to build a database, you need to handle that's take too much time that we are expecting.
Trust me, we do it. We know how much time it takes to do that now.
Yeah, so we go through and find the SubQuery. When we read the document at first, it's already present in a very straight and easy way. In the first time, we know that this is the tools we need and for providing the data service.
And that documentation was easy. Learning about it was easy. It was
Very
very
easy. It's a fascinating thing. It's a very fascinating document.
Yeah, we've worked hard on it. It's very important, and it's just like tools like Web3Go, very important for our ecosystem. And we've always been waiting for a tool like Web3Go. What's next for Web3Go? What's the next big thing? Are you going to focus on building more dashboards and then visualizations, or are you going to add new features in certain other areas?
We are currently planning on two stuff. The one place is we want to do another RNRK dashboard, which is about NFT, as this is the hotspot in the Polkadot system, and we didn't want to miss it. But I think there will be a general analyzing about what NFTs purchasing and selling, the flower price, and stuff like what OpenSea does, but in a more data analyzing dimension. The second part is, like I said, we are still trying to finish the Polkadot itself analyzing. This is actually the strongest. I can say it could be a milestone step for us. Like, we want to know what's actually the whole Polkadot, the dot world, the capital flow and inflow things. This is highly connected to either the latent tree's identity purpose or the cash flow things.
Yeah, and that would be very interesting seeing. Yeah, I think there's a lot of successive applications in other ecosystems, applications that purely track how whales or certain individuals deploy their assets or move assets around, especially over different parachains. And that's one of the biggest opportunities with Polkadot. But also, one of the challenges is keeping track of things as they move across parachains, and something that we're keenly aware of.
Yes, regarding this kind of technical background, I think Web3Go is strong enough. Like, most of us are from the parachain developer, the SubQuery developer ourselves. So we know the code, we know that what the XCM package does. We just know exactly what the cross chain does from the developer's perspective. So it will be easy for us to do the business logic coding breakdown.
Yeah, and your point about the RMRK dashboard, we're getting a lot of interest in that. I think everyone in the industry is thinking about how RMRK is going to be a big part. NFTs are a huge part in blockchain already. We are pretty excited to be sponsoring a challenge at the Gitcoin Hackathon that has just started. For this, put the link in the description here, but that is to build a dashboard for keeping track of RMRK assets, and might be something that we see Web3Go get involved in.
For sure, why not? This is exactly what we are doing. So yeah, no one didn't want the money.
And people that are working on that Gitcoin Hackathon have got some serious challenges coming their way with Web3Go entering the fray. So what do you think the future holds for Polkadot and blockchain?
I want to demonstrate this actually from a more specific example, maybe more related to SubQuery and Web3Go. During our developing, we are actually facing some kind of challenges. The first thing is, consider this: we are in a very promising and uprising Polkadot ecosystem. Both parachain and relations code changes a lot. If you ever count, since last year, Polkadot has gone through a lot of release, from 0.8 to 0.913, I think. So at least the 10 release. So please be aware, we are talking about Polkadot official release only. It's for relation and substrate. We didn't even count the business logic change or the release for individual parachains. So as you can see, the very obvious challenging we're going to facing is, as they are developing in such high frequency, we need to change our code or the logic of the handler a lot. So for instance, our recent Polkadot release 0.9 9.12. There's no sincere logic issue, first of all, yet it does have something. It will print two duplicated balance transfer event for all individual transaction fee payment activity. So as you can see from chain perspective, it's just a medium level error. It's not affect the chain logic at all. But for indexer relying on this event, this will be a disaster. To fix it, we need to manually get the start block of this new release, build a special handler of it. Now, in future, I say shortly, which they're going to fix it shortly, and we need to recrack it with a new handler. Now, this is a drawback from the Polkadot, but it comes from the advantage of super easy, upgradable version code. It's drawback of the characters you have. Yet with SubQuery, we handle it pretty well. We are expecting to see more of these changes, like business change, business logic change, code change. Now, the point is we are very satisfied with SubQuery's high adoption to such issue. It's just to make the tool reliable. Now, this may sound very boosting. We are very glad to see that Substrate has your tool mature enough to face this kind of future diversity. And as we can see, the promising there, it does worth a team like SubQuery to maintain such ability as it benefits the whole ecosystem. So I may say this is just see the whole things from small pieces. The Polkadot itself is just to get much more, what I can say, stable and mature. I hope this kind of logic change, and I see it will be in low frequency in the future.
We're definitely in that early stage where there's a lot of change, and so the teams have to be really responsive to change and keep up to date with that change. And with SubQuery being just a tool, it means great people like Web3Go can wield that tool or apply that tool how they want. And we're very happy to be working with a team that we share the same vision with, and we know are very much advanced and are building some really cool things. Is there any last things that you would like to say to people listening? Any advice you want to give to other people thinking about joining the ecosystem?
We are at an early stage. Everyone joining the Polkadot is a very good choice. You are smart, so do not hesitate at all. That will be all.
It's definitely a better environment to work in than other blockchains, and it's a very friendly ecosystem, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me today, Minchi, and I appreciate the time out of your busy day to talk about these things, and I look forward to seeing more from Web3Go, more applications, and of course that NFT dashboard from RMIK. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks for today's invitation.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.